I can direct videos, man. I can direct videos. It's no problem. Pout, baby, pout, pout. Come on, baby, give me all you got. Come on, gang. Well, I've been waiting here so long, but thinking nothing could go wrong. Well, now I know she has the built-in ability to take everything she sees, and now it seems I'm falling for her. She seems to have invisible touch, and she reaches in and grabs right hold of your heart. She seems to have invisible touch, and it takes control and slowly tears you apart. Well, I don't really know her, I only know her name. But she crawls under your skin, you're never quite the same. And now I know she's got something you just can't trust, and it's something mysterious. And now it seems I'm falling for her. She seems to have invisible touch, and she reaches in and grabs right hold of your heart. She seems to have invisible touch, and it takes control and slowly tears you apart. She seems to have an invisible touch, and she reaches in and grabs right hold of your heart. She seems to have an invisible touch, and it takes control and slowly tears you apart. Well, she don't like losing, to her it's still a game. I know she will mess up your life, you want her just the same. And now I know she has the built-in ability to take everything she sees. And now it seems I'm falling for her. She seems to have an invisible touch, and she reaches in and grabs right hold of your heart. She seems to have an invisible touch, and it takes control and slowly tears you apart. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible touch, she seems to have invisible touch. She seems to have invisible tou
Well, how about that, dear boys? Yes, that is an El Pollo Loco cup. Welcome to the show. It's nice to see you guys. It is going to be a very chill kind of stream. I'm getting to it late. I was trying to start around 4 every day, but my schedule got a little harumphed, and so we're here now to shoot the shit stream. I have news stories, of course. We can talk about video games. Before we get to, I had a bean and cheese rice burrito. You goddamn right. Today, actually. I had to go to, I don't even want to say, come on now. Here's the deal. Shoot the shit, call in. There's a link at the top of the chat or at the bottom. I want to let you know before we get too into this. This show and all of our shows are sponsored by Retro Gaming Treasure. And what that means is you will get a box sent to your homestead every single month, filled with 3 to 5 retro video games. This month, what we got from these fine fellas in Florida, and we're going to be playing a couple of them this week. We have WWF Attitude. I've never played it, so this is new to me. I've never played it. Second Sight from the guys who made Time Splitters. I'm excited. Free Radical. Come on now. It's about a guy who has psychic powers, but he's also got guns and shit. I don't fucking know. I hear it's great. Now, these 2 games I have played. You goddamn right. Sky Odyssey. Haven't played it since it came out. Loved this game. There's a PS2 minor classic few people know about. I cannot wait to play it. And then finally, another minor classic, probably not even a classic. I never hear anybody talking about this game, but it is delightful. NASCAR Rumble. It's all the NASCAR. I don't like NASCAR. I don't care about NASCAR, but it's a great arcade racing game with really fun tracks, fun power-ups, lots of slamming the paint or whatever the kids call it. That'll be coming up later in the week. If you're curious about Retro Game Treasure, going over to their website, and if you check out with Jaffe 10, enter the code in your computer little keyboard lady person, enter Jaffe 10 and you'll get 10% off your first box. Thank you, Retro Game Treasure, and we will chat with you soon. Now, did Jaffe try Forza 6? I did. I tried a couple of games today. I tried Forza 6. I was like, okay. It's fine. I probably won't play much more, but I played about, I don't know. I must have played about 40 minutes of it. I went through the intro and then I drove around and I'm saying I'm good. And man, I like the Forza Horizon series. I'm kind of over it, kind of bored. And then I played the demo of the new Square Enix game I think it's called The Adventures of Elliot that they dropped today. And it's one of those Square demos, which means if you like it and you buy the game, all your stuff will transfer. But I probably won't buy the game because it's relatively simple, at least so far. What I like about it is that it does feel like kind of classic Link to the Past kind of game. It's not like turn-based or anything. There's a lot to like about it, but I played it for about an hour, and I was just sort of like, I'm good. There wasn't anything all that interesting beyond, it's just a same old, lot of nice quality of life things for that kind of game for modern players and everything. But beyond that, I'm okay. I'll wait for the reviews. Forza isn't really for non-racing car people, says Matt. Well, Forza Horizon always has been. It's always been more of the arcadey part of it. But I would say on this particular one, because I did play a lot of Forza Horizon 5, and I played a lot of what's the Ubisoft one, which I actually like more, is like Crew Motorsport, the second one. I thought they were both great games. I'm good. So nothing wrong with it. And maybe if I'm feeling the power of Christ come upon me, I'll go back to it. But I also want to say, hey, thank you so goddamn much to these wonderful supporters of this show right here. We got Awesome Tatum dropping 5 gifted memberships like a goddamn bat out of hell. Thank you, Awesome Tatum, for that. And then we got Juicy Booch, our old friend Juicy Booch, coming in hot. Going, hey, here's 5 gifted memberships, you son of a old so-and-so. Thank you very much, Juicy Booch, for spreading the love. We appreciate it. Then we got Film Gamer X, who's been a member of the Gods of War, the highest tier you can get. It's like going clear at Scientology. Hell of a milestone. Are you going to play Lego Batman this week? My favorite Batman actor is probably... I don't know. I mean, they're all fine. I mean, Michael Keaton I like, but that's probably a nostalgia play. I don't think I'm going to play it. I was this close to buying it, and then I was like, I'm going to wait because it's not on GeForce Now yet, and I didn't want to download it. It's like 50 megabytes and shit, or gigabytes. And then I just sort of looked at it and I'm like, I already have so many things to play. I'm playing right now that, I'm good. I'm pretty fucking good, So I mean, if the world is raving, perhaps, but right now I'm not all that inclined to give it my time. But there is stuff. James Bond is coming out. I'm very excited for James Bond. We have Summer Games Fest that we're going to talk about in just a little bit, which is I think less than a month away, which is absolutely crazy. My buddy, my beau, can you call a woman a beau, or is the man just a beau? Is it a bell? Anyway, Big Mistake dropping a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Can we talk about the primaries now? Yeah, sure. But I mean, I can, if you want to know who I'm going to vote for, but if you want to call in, we'd love to have you call in. But what would you like to talk about specifically? We went over all of the primaries and the California stuff, the Measure A and governor, lieutenant governor, judges even. We went through it all, and I've made my choices. But look at this. But thank you, Big Mistake. Look at this. Rocker Matt comes in hot. God of War for 15 months. I've been a member for longer than 15 months. I'm not sure why that did that, but you're right. When are we finishing Twisted Metal? When will you be playing the new TM5? Is there another Crypt movie stream this weekend, or can we run one here? Whew, that's a lot of questions, my baby. What I'll tell you is we're going to finish Twisted Metal very, very soon. I'm just really swamped and busy, and but I owe you 3 more episodes, and we will absolutely get to them. I will be playing the new TM5, but I just don't know when. I get the sense, Rocker Matt, you're a much bigger fan of Twisted Metal than I am, which must be disappointing to talk to somebody who was crucial in creating the series. And I mean, I love Twisted Metal. It's my child, but I'm not obsessed with it. And I don't mean you're obsessed with it. I'm saying I don't, it's like I really want to play the new TM5 game, but it's not at the top of the pile of things I want to play. But I hear it is great. And yes, there is another Crypt movie stream this weekend over on Lookout Crypt, and you are more than welcome to tune in. We hope you do. I don't know what the movies are yet. Awesome Tatum has been a member of the Gods of War for 36 months. He says, join us. You goddamn right. You get a little sticker and you get a little kiss. Neither of those things are true, but you should join anyway. Thank you, buddy, for all that support. Nerf Ninja, thank you for the super chat. I don't take free things. So here's a super chat. Consider things even in the universe. You goddamn right. Thank you, Nerf Ninja. We appreciate it. Good to have you here. KP Projection says, hey, can you play Dead Cells on a stream? Maybe. We'll have to see. Jarvie Rock says, the Adventures of Elliot demo is on everything else. It released around the launch of Switch 2, but only on Switch 2. I did give it a play. I played about an hour of it today, and it wasn't bad. I absolutely liked it. But it wasn't that interesting, I'm kind of torn. You know what I'm probably not going to do? Big Mistake. If you are, hit me up in the Discord, because what we have going on right now is, and I'll know that that's really you, but it's probably not really you. So what we have going on right now, and we'll get to the video game stuff, but just bear with me because I just think this is the silliest group of people. There's this guy I do this show with on Locale Crypt. I do it with Tech, and I do it with this guy, Jordy, Wings of Redemption. And he's got this group of trolls, and they're kind of, they're kind of cute. You just want to take them and scratch them on the head. It's like they're going to call in, and they think it's going to matter if I put like their dick, or like they'll picture them masturbating or something, or picture somebody masturbating. And I'm like, dude, I just have to cut it out of the show. It's not a big deal. But they think that's like how we got you. And I'm like, I mean, and I've tried to talk to these guys, man. These guys are convinced that this guy, Jordy, is a pedophile. And I say to these guys, they're like, dude, you got to watch these videos we made. I'm like, dude, you got bigger problems. If you know a pedophile and you have evidence, a fucking pedophile, what are you doing talking to me? Get your fucking ass to the cops and say, put this motherfucker in jail. Right? I don't know what they're doing. It makes no goddamn sense to me. I'm like, guys, I want to protect kids too. I'm with you if that's your thing, but they just seem to be on this mission. And I'm just like, what? Don't you care about protecting the kids and shit? but I don't know. I can't get my head around it. I don't understand it. Nerf Ninja. We'll talk about this story in a second, but Nerf Ninja says, if you got hacked, would you start over? KP says, do you think they're mad because you're not playing Blings? I don't think they're mad at me. I don't even know these guys. I'm not. Hell, I even tell these guys, yeah, you're probably right. If you know this guy's a pedophile or anyone's a pedophile, let's get him. But that's not. I'm gonna have to have some fucking evidence before I contribute to ruining a man's life. So, provide it, and we'll go to the cops together. Let's all protect children. But I don't know. What are you gonna do? If I got hacked, you mean like Colin got hacked today? That is something. You guys know this story, right? Colin Moriarty, my friend. I'm on his show a lot. He runs Wings is Jordy. That's right. He runs the Last Stand Media, really good dude. And somebody, in fact, I'll show you the clip of when it happened. He was on Sacred Symbols yesterday. Let me just go to the Discord. If you want to call in and chat, send me a DM on Discord, and then I'll know it's really you, and we'll go from there. But I'm not going to bring in any of these guys in right now, only because unless they got something new to offer. But they always say the same shit, man. They made a video about me. Good. I don't care. More press, baby. Okay. Ed P445. I don't know who that is. Got caught red-handed and didn't get arrested. Would you collab with him by your logic? I would have to basically see what red-handed means. If I have a hard time believing if he was actually caught red-handed and you're using the term correctly, that nothing happened to him. So, please express to me what that means, and I'll let you know. They're not messing with me, Matt. I don't really care. They're more, it gives me content. It gives me stuff to talk about. People like the drama of it a little bit. For now it's kind of interesting me because I can't get my head around the motivation of some of them, except if they're just trolls, and that's fine, but I was hoping that they were as noble as they say they are. And it's like, holy shit, let's go to the cops. But so no one's messing with me. It's fine. I don't understand why. Maybe because Jordy, I'm a fan of Jordy. I like him, but sometimes I get the sense that he brings it on himself. Isn't that terrible? It's not his responsibility. He doesn't do it to himself, but he gives these guys exactly what they want. And I'm like, dude, just fucking sue the fuck out of these guys, dude. And I told him how to do it, and I showed him, and we actually showed him how to figure out who they are. We found out who a couple of them are. One of them was fucking, get this, you guys. One of these guys was sending a message, and we figured out where he was sending it from, which wasn't very hard, from a fucking elementary school. Now think about that. What kind of person is on a computer at an elementary school talking about PDF people? You know what I mean? Come on now. I'm worried, man. Kids, it's not right. We got to take care of kids. I heard somebody that got assaulted once say that, I've said this before, but they said assaulting a child is like murdering. It's murder, but it's the murder of the soul. They'll never get over it. Think about that, man. And that, if you have evidence, baby, get that guy off the streets. What are you doing? Did I see the fake influencer Mandalorian Grogu, Alex? No, I did not. Although I will tell you something. We'll get to Colin's story in just a second. I will tell you something. I was very interested in seeing Mandalorian Grogu. The reviews have come out. I'm like, but then the reviews come out. That the He-Man movie, who knew? The He-Man movie got such a good response at the premiere last night that I think it's MGM Amazon came out and said, guys, we had an embargo until June. Don't worry about it. Post your reviews now. And they have been absolutely just most people saying it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. What are you talking about? That movie? I can't wait. So yeah, I will be watching that proudly, happily, excitedly on June 5th. But anyway, and you know, we went to the movies last night. I'll show you. Me and the kids and Tech, who I think of, I guess, as the kids, we went to see a let me share my screen. Hang on. We went to see a hang on. They were showing Close Encounters of the fucking Third Kind, man. What? Why? I don't know, but they were showing Close Encounters of the goddamn Third Kind. These are images from the show. I saw this when I was originally 6 years old with my dad and my brother, and it holds up. It was so fucking good to see this movie again, and it really holds up. And if you ever have played God of War, this scene right here at the beginning, where you can barely see an inch in front of your goddamn brain, is where I got the original inspiration for the level in God of War, the Desert of Lost Souls. That's how much being in the theater as a kid and just seeing almost nothing on the screen except these people emerging from the sandstorm. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Great fucking movie, holds up. Great thing to see before Disclosure Day comes out next month. And I was surprised. Everybody loved it. Tech loved it. Sarah loved it. Calvin loved it. It's like, what? Do I have that many tabs open? Yes, I do. Because that's the show, man. That's the show. That's where I keep things to talk about. For example, let me show you. This is what happened. I was watching a little bit of Colin's thing, and this is where it all kind of went south, where he had to leave. He started getting messages. Look at this. This was yesterday, I think.
He's caused quite a stir in the Last Stand
He
Discord.
has, which I think is fun and funny and great. Like I want to be silly and all the rest, but we don't need to have like dead. I don't want to be involved in your life. It's not you, Randy, individually.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have that kind of time. You know. Don't call in if you don't want to have the drama, and don't say crazy shit if you don't want to have the
Yeah, you
drama
gotta-
around it. I mean, at the end of the day, like, what do you think is gonna like? I'm not your fucking dad, you know. But what was interesting was the Randy. I don't think we've heard the last of from Randy because
The audio's low?
wasn't it 50-50?
Why would the audio be low? Let me try. Why would that be low? Hang on. Hide. And then share screen. I'm doing that. Let me. All right. Watch your ears. Maybe this will be better or worse. Is this better?
When we did the poll,
Yeah, I don't think Randy will be calling back in. I think he currently there's people that in our Discord that have been not nice to him, but also I don't know, like
Is that better?
looking
Is that
around,
better?
Like the lines are getting blurred. I think Randy's not happy with how some people are treating him. But
so
Oh, Randy. By the way, is that audio any better or not? The Randy guy, I don't want to get into the lore, but he's this guy who called in when I'm on the show asking about his divorce and wife and stuff, and it was just like, dude, we're doing a call-in show. It's a silly, stupid, fun little show. We're not like an actual. We're not your therapist. And I guess in the Discord, he's kind of taking it, really serious. Okay, so I'm asking you guys. So it's still quiet. Why would it still be quiet? Well, it doesn't really matter because here's the point. It's a visual thing. You'll see it right here. I don't know why it's quiet.
strange, though,
But
because
watch this.
he was posting so
Okay, watch this. Watch Colin right here.
How did it disintegrate like that?
Right here.
He was posting so many. He not just him, but there were so many
Right. So that's when he's seeing it happen. Right. This is when he's seeing it happen.
messages going around in the Discord after that call that I don't know what he said afterwards. That I can't. I can't anymore.
See, he's clearly confused. He's not speaking.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting a bunch of emails.
Yeah, that was the weird thing, right? Is that right? And watch this.
feel like I'm being hacked or something. I'm getting like a bunch of verification codes.
He says, I'm getting a bunch of verification. He says he's getting
Well, that's
he says he's getting a bunch of verification codes for things he doesn't even use. He thinks he's being hacked.
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, so with
And then it concerns him enough. He basically leaves and tells Dustin he's going to go leave. And then Dustin takes over the show. So what ended up happening, if you haven't followed this story and everything's worked itself out, is that I had the YouTube volume up, is apparently the word is, and I know a couple other people who have had this happen to them, but apparently the word is that the way Sony's shit works, even if you have two-factor authentication, if you call them up and give them your PSN name, and then you also just give them one relatively easy to find piece of data, they'll just be like, okay, you're you, and you can change your password and this and that and the other. And that's what this guy did to Colin. And obviously Colin, you know, being, I think it's probably, if it's not it's one of the most successful PlayStation podcast out there. Obviously he's very well known and by some people at Sony, very well liked in the industry. And, you know, he got it sorted out, but what it really did though, was kind of open up the gates to a bunch of articles and stuff with people saying, you know, this shit happened to me. And so apparently I don't know if Sony's going to respond. I don't know if Sony's going to make any changes. But I hope they do. I hope they do. I barely turn on my PlayStation. I'm not really worried about my PlayStation PSN, but Colin, he's very serious about his PSN account. He likes his trophies and all that shit. I know somebody in the chat is saying that he threatened to stop doing sacred symbols. I think he was very silly about it. He was joking. He wasn't really going to do a G.I. Joe podcast, although he loves G.I. Joe. But anyway, so that's what's going on. I'm glad it's fixed, but I agree with Awesome Tatum in the chat. Sony better fix this shit, or a lot of folks have been affected. They have. Like I said, I'm not going to name the name of the person. You might know him, but I know somebody who was also affected by this. So what did Brad Ellis have to do with it? I don't know. Brad from Last Stand Media, did he have anything to do with it? Isn't that who you're talking about? Isn't that his name, Brad? I think you're talking about Brad, right? Who came over from Giant Bomb. I wasn't aware he was involved with it at all. Games Media hates him because of his politics. Be honest about that, says Banana Joe. I mean, I'm sure Colin would agree with you. I don't really know who are Games Media these days. I think PR hates him. And that I don't think it matters to him, but that affects things more. I don't think he gives a shit what Kotaku thinks about him, just like most people don't give a shit what Kotaku think about him. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I get along with him. He's my friend, but I'm super progressive and he's not. But I know some progressives, if you can call them that, really don't like anybody who has a different opinion. And in that, you know, I can understand why they would be like, I don't want to talk about that guy. I don't want to help that guy. But I don't know. How do you feel about people complaining about normies wouldn't be able to have this fixed so quickly? My take is if you earn access, you got access and use it. Well, they can complain, but they should be grateful in a lot of ways, because if Sony's going to do anything, you know, it's not going to come from just a couple of people complaining. You know, what is the minimum wage worker going to do who answers the phone at customer service? Okay, I'll kick it right up to Scott Rohde. No. But now that Colin has made it public and then Kotaku's covering it and other press outlets are covering it, I have to assume Sony's going to have a sit down with the people in charge of this part of the network and go, how do we solve this? This is not good. Either they're doing it out of, they want to make their product better and they know it could become a PR nightmare, but I don't know. But so when you're asking me how I feel about it, I'm grateful. I'm absolutely grateful that this happened. Not that it happened, but I'm grateful that if it were to happen to someone, it happened to somebody with such a platform that now Sony, it's sad that that's what makes them pay attention. But, you know, what are you going to do? Due to this, says KP, do you have regrets developing for the PS2? No. The Xbox was more powerful and could power time control powers like in the game Blinks. Yeah, KP, stick it up your ass. Thank you for the money. And thank you, Matt, for the 10 jewels. I appreciate it. Look, I may even play Blinks for like 20 minutes just to fucking play it and just to say, shut the fuck up. But I mean, I played it at E3 when it was on the goddamn show floor. It wasn't good. Yeah, even for Colin, they were originally telling Colin it was going to be 3 weeks until it got fixed. Well, yeah, and Colin, you know, the customer service guy probably didn't know who Colin was. But yes, Greg Miller called in. They're old friends. I don't know if they still consider themselves friends, but they certainly are old friends. And I'm sure Colin reached out to a couple other people as well. Thank you, Robot, for sending the 10 jewels, the floating heart. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now, did you guys see that the God of War 3 director's game, Stig, you guys know Stig, he was the art director, one of the art directors in God of War 1. I don't remember if he was art director and character art. I don't know what, but he was a higher role on 2, and then he ended up directing what a lot of people think is one of the best God of Wars, which was God of War 3. And then he left Sony Santa Monica and went to direct the last 2 Jedi games, for EA Respawn, right? What are the, with the Cal Kestis guy? What is that? Fallen Order and the other one. And then he left and he took a bunch of people with him, and they opened up a studio called Giant Skull, and they signed a deal with Hasbro to do a D&D game. And apparently that game got shut down by Hasbro. They've been shutting down a couple of things, and according to someone who reached out to Stig, he says Giant Skull is fine. We're talking to other people, blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of all we know. But I was really surprised and disappointed to hear, for a lot of reasons. I like Stig. He was always a nice guy to me. He's a talented guy. I like the games he's made. You know, it sucks that it sucks it has to go that way. Hopefully they can take what they've done and adjust enough for a new game. Hello, Courage. How you doing, baby? They can adjust for a new game using a lot of that stuff, unless it just was rubbish. I mean, I don't fucking know. Why'd they do D&D without the license? They didn't. D&D hired them. Where's this dog? Come here, baby. D&D hired them to do, or Wizards of the Coast hired them to do it, right? But you know, it's weird though, because you know, it really is so much about the team as well as the director. And I don't know if maybe they had stuff at EA, at Respawn, which is a great developer, that allows a director like Stig to come in, but they had to build a bunch of new stuff as Giant Skull, and maybe that fucked them. I have no idea. Billy Bob says, have you ever heard of a game called Outriders? Yeah, I didn't play a lot of it. I think it was a Square Enix game. I did think the story was really cool, but I barely finished it. Thank you for the floating heart. Thank you for the gold coin. Thank you for the sparkles. I appreciate it. Do I like tack and the power of Juju, says Full Metal. I mean, I probably only played that for about 20 minutes when it made its way into Sony Santa Monica. So I know you're asking for places to eat. Somebody's coming to San Diego and they're like, who do you recommend, or what restaurant do you recommend that I eat at? And I'm just kind of like, man, I'm not a foodie. I don't fucking know. So I'm not blowing you off, man. I'm just kind of like, I like Oogie's Pizza, but I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that can say, oh, okay, you need to go downtown to the Gas Lamp District, and there's this little hole in the wall Mexican food restaurant. And oh my God, I don't know how to talk about things like that, because it's not what I do. I'm happy going to, El Pollo Loco, baby. Come on now. And there are tons of places, and you can get a better recommendation from someone who ain't me. Death Metal in your face of the Cincinnati in your faces says, I'm sus of the person that sent him the warning, meaning Colin. Yeah, he sent Colin a warning, and then he also said Dustin's next. So I don't know. I mean, it's weird, man. It's weird. David K. Hey, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. He says, what does Stoner Joe Productions remind you of? Is it still about the time you tried to make a commercial for a company in your youth? Not really, Stoner Joe. Stoner Joe Productions now, occupies a corner of my mind where I only visit, or I will only visit in the future if sadly I end up having a stroke. So, but I love you anyway, Stoner Joe. Be well. I get a BRC burrito from El Pollo Loco. All right, hang on a second. What is your opinion on Cousin versus Morty boxing? I don't know anything about that. I watched the Ronda Rousey thing. That was fast. When are we getting more interviews with geeks? I don't know. I'm kind of bored of that, truth be told. You know what? I mean, here, I thought I was a goddamn pretty good, I thought I was a pretty good interviewer, and I think I remain a relatively good interviewer, especially someone who's not schooled in that and whatnot. But it was because I was genuinely curious about some of these people's games and stuff. But there's really no one else I care to talk to right now when it comes to game developers, right? So I'm like, what do I, you know what I mean? I mean, what do you want to know, right? There's people out there who are, there are people out there that do a good job, getting all the data. If you want to hear about Judas from Ken Levine or this, that, or the other, but so that data is out there. But I would probably, I don't know. It doesn't interest me anymore. I'd rather talk to you guys. Wink. Okay. I think it's a weird retaliation, says Nerf Ninja, meaning the Colin hack for having Mercante on. Oh, he's asking me. I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with these other trolls. If you're so goddamn bored with your fucking life that you are going to hack someone's account because they're having somebody on the show you don't like, buddy, get yourself into a goddamn therapist office. What the hell's the matter with you? Get a goddamn hobby, because it can't be that, you fucking moron. So I hope it's not. You had somebody on your show that I don't approve of. Therefore, hack time, everybody, hack time. Fuck you. Go do something, you fucking morons. God, I'm so, you know what? The amount of just, I'm stunned that I can continue to find it in my heart to really despise people that are so fucking bored with their lives. Like, I kind of figured I'd got to the point where I'm like, okay, that's just them. They're dealing with some shit. Maybe their parents don't love them. Maybe they're, who the fuck knows, right? But it's the more I see behavior, and I know we don't have the Colin thing to go on, but you're just speculating. What if it was that? I would say, yeah, man. I would be like, what the fuck kind of fuck is that shit? Get a goddamn hobby. Get a goddamn hobby. Shut the fuck up, Bukaki. He says the amount of mental gymnastics Jaffe does is crazy. It's because I want to make sure I can be clear on things. And sometimes that makes me less clear. Listen to this. Comic Book Resources came out, and they says, well, I did, Richard. I heard about the woman. She fell 10 feet into a manhole in New York City and she died. Really sad. Hello, Dewdrop. But anyway, so Star Wars, Comic Book Resources, CBR.com is doing a Star Wars week in celebration of the Mandalorian coming out. And they put up this poll. And I'm going to tell you where it's at right now, because I have the results of the first 4 brackets in the poll, and I'll put it on the screen so we can look at it as pals do. Let me answer this first. Alex, Jaffe, your time is very precious. I'd like to know your thoughts on the trailer Backrooms. I did not like it one bit, but people are going crazy. I thought it looked great. I like the idea that it is going to, usually when you see people do stuff like Skinamarink and kind of analog horror, it ends up being, it's not just the spaces that are blank, it's the plot. And I like the idea that this is going to be about a guy who discovers it and then they try to map it and figure out, I like that there's a bit more plot seeming to hang on it. So I know me and the kids are going to go see it next Friday when it opens. So I'm excited. Sterling, have you watched any analog horror series? I've watched some of them. I've never watched a full one. Jaffe, Spider-Man will have its 100,000th issue soon. Are you buying? Probably not. All right. So let me tell you what we got going on here. I just want to see if the chat can, there's no way. Some of these are hard, but they're trying to figure out the best Star Wars character. Okay. So Luke versus Padme, Han versus Lando, Yoda versus Grogu, and the Mandalorian Din Djarin versus Chewbacca. I mean, I think these were pretty simple, right? And if you don't know, you're about to know. Padme versus Luke, Luke won. Han versus Lando, Han won. Yoda versus Grogu, Yoda won. And Jin versus Chewbacca, I think Chewie won. I'm almost certain Chewie won. Hang on. Yeah. But then coming up next week or tomorrow, we have Darth Vader versus Maul. I think Vader will win. The Emperor versus Rey. That's got to be Emperor. The last two are pretty fucking hard. Obi-Wan versus Anakin. I don't know who's going to win that one. And Princess Leia versus R2-D2. This is hard. It's a hard one to know. It's a hard one to know, man. So I'm kind of watching that with excitement. But we'll see. Yeah, Jar Jar's not on there. But Vader, Emperor, Anakin. Okay, so you think Vader, the Emperor. So yeah, Anakin over Obi-Wan. That's the hard one for me. But you're probably right. Anakin's probably better. And then you end up with Han versus Luke. I mean, you got to, Chewie versus Yoda. You got to go Yoda. You got to go. Oh, man. You probably got to go Han. Then you got to go Vader, Obi-Wan, Emperor, R2. I think it's going to end up being Han versus Vader. I think it's got to be Han versus Vader, is what I think. But the best character isn't there. Where's Max Rebo? You goddamn right. Where's Max Rebo and his crazy band? You goddamn right, baby. Listen to this, though. It's a big day in gaming. Forza Horizon is out now for everyone, not just the early access kids. 91 on Metacritic. I did play it today, and I'm good. Like I said at the top of the stream, I'm good. It's fine, but it's not really what, I've played a game like that before. And I'm okay not spending too much more time with it, but it's great for what it is. Randy's call in is entertainment, not therapy. Doesn't clear up anything. Explain that you were just joking about him hiding something. Clearly what that meant for him and others still hung up. I just felt that I wasn't getting the true story. When he called in and he was saying things, something felt off about it. That's what I was saying. I made that clear. But I mean, you call into a fucking show. What do you think, Anna G, for posting that, buddy? I appreciate it. You call into a fucking show about video games and you start talking about your personal life and your divorce and him calling his ex-wife a whore. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have an opinion. And that's what that was. It was an opinion. And who gives a shit? He doesn't need my approval. You don't want your dirty laundry aired. Don't call into a call-in show and air it. And then literally go, what do you think's going to happen, Jaffe? What do you think I should do? I'm like, well, don't get upset when I give you an answer. Forza Horizon 6. We also got Lego Batman is sitting at an 84. Legacy of the goddamn Cock-a-Doodle Dark Knight is out today. I probably will not play it. I like to, unless I'm just crazy hyped for something, I usually wait a day or two and then the hype wears off and I'm like, I'm good. It sounds to me like it's a really great, one of the best Lego video games is, but I'm good. But people seem to love it. If it was Spider-Man, I'd get it, no questions asked. But I'm not a mega Batman fan to begin with. So, we talked about the Adventures of Elliot. That demo is available right now if you are, curious. Maybe I don't pay attention or follow too many PC MR dudes, but I don't see anyone crying over PS games not going to PC, says Weirded Beardo. I wanted to bring this up because, in the time since we've last talked, that Sony has come out and Herman Holst has come out and said, well, hey, listen, all of our narrative-based games now are going to be PlayStation exclusives. And then there is a sense that the people over at Xbox are mulling over the idea of possibly making things exclusive again, but we don't know. I can tell you, I'm certainly not crying over PlayStation games not going to PC, but I have been I shouldn't say surprised because there's a lot of these fanboys that are fucking morons. But I am still somewhat surprised by the fact that people are celebrating this. Now, there's a way to celebrate PlayStation going exclusive with their biggest games. If you say, if they do that, then more people will buy the console. And if they buy the console, then Sony, not just first party, will make money, but Sony will make a lot more money because even if it's not their game, everything that sells on that console, they get a percentage of, right? It's the licensing fee. So, but short of that, the people that just like the exclusive stuff, like I agree with RS, exclusives are an old and outdated practice. Budgets are so large. If you want to get the most profit, multi-plat's the way to go. Not only that, but it's the thing people will say a lot is, oh, but it's good for competition. And I'm kind of like, no, it's not. Competition exists anywhere, right? So if just because Indiana Jones comes to Xbox and Switch 2, where it's doing very well, and PlayStation 5, they're still competing, but now they're competing against all the other publishers. So as a gamer, you win regardless because they still have to get you to spend the money on Indiana Jones and not on Saros or whatever. So this idea that, oh, we're excited about it because it invites competition, I think that's ill thought out, is what I would say. But regardless, we'll see. But I don't, I only care because now I got to buy a fucking PS5 Pro because I do want to play Wolverine. I do want to play Grand Theft Auto. And there's like 2 other games. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll buy a PS5 Pro. So, we'll see. Where did that go? Batman can move about the city almost as well as Spider-Man. Plus he has a bunch of cool rides and Batman Lego. Yeah, I get it. I'm sure it's a great game for people who are into that kind of stuff. It's just not my, it's not my cup of tea. You know what bothers me though? This is, I don't know Luke Stevens. I've never talked to him. I follow him. He doesn't follow me. Why would I trade in my PS5? I need it. I'm told you I was going to play a bunch of games. But he's a pretty big video game commentator kind of guy. And the fact that he comes out and says, mixtape is great, sharp, funny, creative. The music selection is phenomenal. Art direction pristine. The cast is great. Day one on Game Pass for $20 for 4 hours of fantastic indie charm. Highly recommended. And the first comment, and I'm reading it because this is not a rare thing. This is a talking point with some of these morons. And just like that, years of credibility that you built and worked hard to earn has literally all just gone out the window. You have officially sold out. Was the bag really worth your entire credibility? Now, I want to talk about this briefly. I want to talk about, do these idiots really believe this? Do you think this is true? Like, do you think they really think that Luke Stevens, who has 1,000 to 2,000 people watching his live streams, he has tons of people watching the shit afterwards when it's cut up. Do you really think they think that someone's like, here's some money, Luke or Greg Miller or Colin or any of these people with a much bigger audience that I have, and it's like, okay, I will, because how much would it be? Let's say, I mean, it's not this because they don't do this, but let's say it's 10 grand, right? Let's say it's $10,000. This guy who has spent years building his audience, building his, trustworthiness amongst his audience. He's going to, for 10K, for 20K, for anything ideally, but for 20 fucking K, he's going to totally just lie to his audience. There's a line in Ferris Bueller's Day Off where the maitre d', who's kind of this snooty, snotty guy, is like, he says, I weep for the future. And it's meant to be funny. And it is funny in that movie. But in this case, I weep for the future. If this is how stupid some of these people are, I just don't know what to tell you. The idea that the only way you can like a game is if you have been paid for it, if someone else doesn't like it, is really weird to me, you guys. But I used to think most of them have to be trolling, but they're not. Because do you know, I've talked to some of these people since then. I've gotten them on the shows. I've asked them this. They really fucking believe this shit. They believe in all the shit, the DEI shit, that even though we've had people on the show that worked at PlayStation going, yeah, that's not really happening. Nobody told us to race swap. Not that there was a swap, but to make the girl in Ragnarok a black girl. It's not like we had what's her name, Sweet Baby Inc. or Sarkeesian going, well, we didn't want to do that, but she said we should. Like they never have any evidence of any of this. And in this case, they have no evidence, but they would rather believe what is clearly a lie than actually just go, oh, the truth is some people really like mixtape. I love mixtape. It's one of my favorite games the goddamn year. I didn't say DEI doesn't exist, but the idea that it exists in the way that they're suggesting it is within video game companies is load up. It doesn't work that way, man. It does not work that way. It's a ridiculous accusation. They have no evidence to back it up. Certainly not at the level of these big games. I mean, imagine that. Imagine after all the success, just take Ragnarok real quick. We'll get off this in a second because what else is there to say? By the way, thank you, Matt, for the 10 joules, the thumbs up. Appreciate it, buddy. Imagine all the work that Cory Barlog had to do to get into the position to direct the last God of War 2018. Huge motherfucking hit. Reestablished the franchise, remade the franchise into something very lucrative. And now someone from Sony Games is going to go to him and say, you're our new cash cow, Cory, but Anita Sarkeesian has said that she needs this character to be black. And Cory might be like, well, that's not my vision, or that's not Eric's vision. We don't care. Anita Sarkeesian said so, or BlackRock said so. No, they didn't. No, they fucking didn't. And you have no evidence to back up that they did. Specifically, not the whole blanket thing that companies that make investments, of course, they were pushing certain investments for their ideology. Yes, every company does that on both sides. But in this case, where's your evidence that that resulted in specific creative aspects of games being affected? Because Sony's like, we need the money. We need to be on their list. And thus, we're going to have they've decided to hire Sweet Baby Inc. and they're going to come down and have carte blanche to tell Cory. I mean, it doesn't work that way. But they believe it. They fucking believe it. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, Big Mistake. Good to see you, bud. Again, I need to call him on Discord. We'll talk primaries. Jaffe, what's your opinion on Colin's account being hacked? Hello, Will. We talked about that earlier. My opinion is I'm glad, in short, I'm glad that he got it back. And I'm glad that it was able to raise the stink of it, that a lot of media is covering it now, because the way it happened, if it happened the way it was explained to me, that's a pretty big, that's a pretty big problem for Sony security. And hopefully, because this is not new, this has been going on, hopefully, it'll cause Sony to fix it. KP, thank you for the super chat. There's too much mixtape hate. Even Shaquille O'Neal says he loves the game. Do you really? I love the game, but it's one fucking game. Go fuck yourself, you guys. Do I agree with Sweet Baby's agenda? Please define the agenda, and then I will tell you if I agree with it. Sony ain't the Sony you knew, says Alex. I'm aware of that. You think if you were desperate to go back, they would accept your resume? There is no blacklist, and I'm not on a blacklist, I assure you. However, I know it's not the Sony I knew. What are you talking about? But that's what I'm saying. We had people from the God of War team on this stream, and we were asking them point blank, and they were laughing at the idea that anyone from corporate or was coming down and saying, you have to work with this consultancy firm. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. David Jaffe on Collins Hacks says one pump. The soundbite is my opinion is I'm glad. Yeah. I am glad though, because I think I think it's the only thing that works for big corporations is making them fear people will abandon them. Thank you, Will. I appreciate it, buddy. Can't wait, says Dave Calzone, member for 35 goddamn months. Can't wait for Masters of the Universe. Thank you for that, by the way, Dave. MK2 was awesome. I will see that when it streams, and we already kind of covered Masters, but I one of my favorite movies growing up and still now is Flash Gordon. And, when you're a kid and you watch something like Flash Gordon, you don't think of it as cheesy. You take it straight up. But this sounds like it's kind of that. It knows what it is. It's leaning into the absurdity, but it's still a great deal of fun. Now, this thing is going to create all the culture war shit because you've got a lot of these people talking about, there's a weird, not weird like it's bad, but there is a take on masculinity and toxic masculinity and the, femininity and all that. And I'm not saying, I don't know where it's going to land, like on what ideological spectrum it's going to land, but it sounds like, it's probably already starting to piss off some of the right-wing guys. But at that point, I would just say, well, why don't the right-wing guys, they're never going to be happy, right? Thank you for the jewels. Henry, I appreciate it, buddy. They're never going to be happy, and they deserve to be happy, right? Why don't they just go make their own shit? Why don't they go get, a toy license and make it the way they want to? Why don't they go get found a video game company and make whatever the fuck they want to? Why isn't that, going to be the solution? Isn't that the whole free market idea that the right is always talking about, which I like the free market to a large extent, but it's like, go build a better mousetrap then. Don't rely on Sony if you find their flavor to be offensive. What if directors, says Doug, inject these types of divisive scenes to gain buzz? I think when you're talking this kind of money, I don't think you could do that without it being something, because I don't think anyone saw it as a divisive thing in a lot of ways, depending on what you're talking about. I'm sure that could be a tactic, but in this case, I don't think it is as it relates to He-Man. Listen, KP, thank you for the super chat. Do you think God of War would have been more successful if Black Eyed Peas did the score? I understand you're joking to a large extent, although when God of War came out, Black Eyed Peas were like ascending to the top. You never know, maybe they'll get back, but probably not. But I love that Brian May is on the soundtrack, heavily featured from Queen, because they did the soundtrack to Flash Gordon, which heavily inspired the soundtrack to God of War. And I love that rock opera vibe that apparently this has. Okay. Thank you for the sparkles. I appreciate it. Sweet Baby is just a crappy consultant firm, and they don't do a good job. I really don't think they've had any actual power. Yeah, again, that's what's confusing to me. Like I have said this before, but I just can't seem to convince people who want to hold on to their narrative, and that's fine. Do what you got to do. But, I've hired consultants before. I've hired writers before. What do you think? They come floating in and it's like Will Smith in the Ali movie. The champ is here. The champ is here. Everybody stop working. Sweet Baby has arrived to show us the way. You're talking about Sony Santa fucking Monica. You're talking about Naughty Dog. You're talking about some of the biggest, most talented, most highly paid, well-trained, successful people in the AAA video game industry. Do you really think, I mean, you can't get the people on the team that have been hired to agree 90% of the time. Just ask Shannon Studstill, ask Scott Campbell, ask Nick Conanellis. Suddenly you're going to get all those people to go, I'll abdicate the fun part of the job, which is making the creative calls because, you know, God forbid Sweet Baby Inc. and Anita don't get their way. Are you high? And I know it's not your job to know how the industry works, but at least know how some industry works and then apply that logic to your business and go, would that fly in your business? Because it certainly wouldn't fly in this one. Not the way you guys present it. That's for fucking sure. Nerf, thank you for the super chat. He says, listen, man, he says, give chat an inspiring moment on why things aren't as bad as they seem in the gaming industry and in life. Okay, I can do that. Things are absolutely not bad. Well, if you're working in the game industry and you're working in the game industry as a studio guy, like a AAA developer or whatever, things are pretty bad. But as gamers, this is, I mean, let me give you an example just at the AAA level. Now, I want to tell you something. You guys have no idea how prepared I am. You asked me why I have all these fucking tabs. It's for things like this, for Nerf Ninja's very generous super chat. This is just 2026 so far. We're not even halfway into the year. Their top scoring games. We've had Resident Evil Requiem, Karen, whatever the climbing game, which people love. I haven't played it. Forza people love. Marathon isn't doing well, but the people who love it, love it. Saros, whatever. I haven't played it. People say it's good, not great. Mixtape. I mean, I'm showing them, you know, I'm just going to hit the big ones. But obviously these are all well-reviewed games. Pacopia, not to mention Tamagotchi Life, the new World of Warcraft with the house creation and is apparently much beloved. We had Batman out today. The new Diablo people are excited about. That's, you know, and there's actually more that I would put on that list. In fact, like I said, I don't see Tamagotchi Life on this list. So that's what, and then that doesn't even cover the amazing shit that's happening in the indie space and AA game space that you can see in the indie stores on consoles or in the on Steam and whatnot. So if you are a gamer, this is one of the best times. You know, it's disgusting in that people are going to lose their jobs over this because there's simply too much to play. I want to show you this. This is what's coming to Game Pass or has already dropped on Game Pass. Forza 6, people love. Subnautica 2 doesn't have a review yet because it's early access, but fans are very happy with it. Black Jacket is sitting at an 81 Metacritic. Call the Elder Gods. I like the first one. I don't know much about this one yet. Outbound, the demo was fun if you like games like it. Mixtape, one of the best games of the year. Wildgate, you probably haven't played, but if you can get a crew together, it's incredibly good. It'll probably be dead in 5 months, but it is an excellent game. The point is, there's too much goddamn Call of Duty shit to play. You got Jurassic Park Evolution 3 coming to Game Pass. You've got the sequel to Echo Generation coming, which was an amazing indie RPG that came out like 4 years ago. So that was what I would say to that. As for life, baby, you're here. That's all I got to tell you. You're fucking here. Make the most of it. We might even get UFO disclosures soon. How can we be upset about that? Come on. Lucas, thank you for the super chat. It's very generous. He says, Jaffe, listen, I'm a huge fan of your God of War games. Cheers from Brazil. Let me ask you something. If you could choose a second option for Kratos, besides the blue tattoo look, what would it be? Like, what would his visual be? Let me tell you something, Lucas. We went through over 1,000 serious candidates for that character. And, you know, all kinds of shit, from subtle changes to what we ended up with to massive diversions and just totally different concepts. And so I can't really imagine him any different. I can tell you this, they put a beard on him and I fucking hate it. A small change like that, giving him a beard, and I can't stand the design of Kratos now. So it's going to be hard for me to tell you the slight thing I would change or a big thing, because I think it's like, you know, to me, Kratos's look from God of War, the early God of Wars is it's not as iconic as Spider-Man, but in the gaming sphere, he is one of the most well-known characters in video games. Is he A tier? No, but he's not B tier. He's like A minus. And so I wouldn't mess with perfection is what I would say. And that's not me. That was Charlie Wynn and those guys. But yeah, a great character, and I wouldn't really change much about it at all. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. Let's ease on down the road, shall we? What's this about? Oh, this is that thing I was talking about with Masters Universe, where it's starting to become. Now this was weird. You do have some of these reviewers kind of retweeting the same thing, and we've kind of seen this before, so it's a little suspicious. But these aren't the main guys. They're actually responding to a reviewer. So I don't know what all that's about, but you clearly are seeing some of the people starting to complain about the, I don't know, man. Just go get your guys, go get your fucking, I don't know, your Kevin Sorbos and this, that, and the other, and go make your own goddamn fucking video games. Go make your own goddamn movies. Artists tend to be left-leaning progressive types. Sorry. That's because they're not conservative. To make art, not always, but more often than not, to make something artistic, you have to think outside of the box. You have to be comfortable pushing up against the norms of society. That's how you get art. It doesn't mean you can't make a good entertainment product if you're straight up right-wing. Sure you can. But if you really cared about that and not owning the libs, you'd probably be putting your effort into trying to compel some of these right-wing people. And they're doing it actually to great success. If you look at that Tyler Sheridan guy, right, with Yellowstone, and he's got a new movie, a bunch of new series on Paramount. Now he's moving somewhere else. The right-wing people are eating that up. It can work. Look at Mel Gibson. I played this yesterday. They dropped DLC. It'll cost you $3.99. You can get The Thing, who's one of my favorite superheroes, and you can get Cyclops. I still don't love this game as much as I've loved some of the other other kind of similar games. Like I actually thought the Ninja Turtles game was more interesting than this. The Shredder's Revenge, Streets of Rage had more variety, but this is such a love letter, not to Marvel, but specifically Marvel Comics, that it's hard for me not to just adore this. So FYI, if you love the Marvel, Thing is in there now. Cyclops, you can get them both for basically $4. And it's also online and stuff. So you can play with your friends if they're, and couch co-op. Colin's episode with Alyssa Mercante is great. Okay, so he already did it? Oh, that's great. I'm so glad. Okay, is he getting, let's look that up real quick. Is he getting a bunch of shit for it? I know maybe that's what somebody was speculating. Why was Cyclops added? I don't know. I mean, he is going to be, hang on, Last Stand. He is going to be, in Avengers Doomsday and stuff like that. So maybe Marvel's like, hey, can we start pushing him because we want him to be a big deal? Was it a live or a video? Let's see. It's probably a video. Is it already up? I don't see it anywhere. Where is it? Maybe it hasn't happened yet. Listen to this. K-Nubs. Carlos, has it already happened? Where do I see it? I don't know where to look. Carlos, thank you for the super chat. Very generous, buddy. Or for the membership, 57 months. Very, very generous, buddy. Oh, Sacred Sim Streaming Plus. Okay, so I have to look at it on Patreon. Okay, I am a Patreon member, but I'm not going to bring that up here then because that's supposed, that's not for, hopefully he'll make it free. But it sounds like it was good. That's great to hear, Carlos. Hot Topic says, K-Nubs, thank you for the very generous super chat. No one actually likes me. Well, I like you. I'm just a weird dude that sometimes makes people on Discord laugh. More often than not, they hate the absolute psychotic alcoholic I become, but they still want my money. Big Merp. Well, I reject your thesis, which is nobody likes you. I think Bunny Server likes you. I like you. Yes, I am a Patreon member. So I can't help you any more than that. I mean, you're a nice guy. You're a funny guy. Like a clown, you amuse me. No, you're a funny guy. You're a nice guy. I'm not sure. I don't know what else to do with that data that you just shared with all of us. But anyway, there you go, baby. There you go. Hey, thank you for the star, Maddie. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Let's ease on down the road, my boys. Hell, here's another one. This game is apparently really good. Zero Parades from the guys who made Disco Elysium. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but it's just like game after game after game. It's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of fucking crazy. Jaffe, you did not address the Asmongold video about mixtape. Well, why would I address it? Does it concern me? I mean, talk to me a minute, Alex, about what it is. What do I do with, I mean, what happened? Meantime, don't forget, we are less than a month away from Summer Game Fest, which is exciting times. We're going to be streaming it on this very channel. You goddamn right. And I recommend a membership because we're only going to be chatting with members on that show and doing, and actually now I'm going to start just doing call-ins on the Discord with members moving forward, just because it's not that I mind if people want to call in and show their penises. They seem to like that, but I just don't have the time to then afterwards go in and edit it out. And I'd rather just know who's calling in, but you're more than welcome to. So consider a membership, consider gifted memberships. So all your friends can play. That would be great. You like all the new games on Game Pass, says KP, get you off. I don't know if I like all of them. I can tell you the ones for me that have me excited. I mean, Forza, I was like, whatever. Subnautica 2, I like, and it is gorgeous because I play it on GeForce Now with everything turned up to 11, and it's fucking beautiful. But I actually enjoy Project Mist more, and that's out, I think, today. And I'm going to pick that up because I loved the demo. So Call the Elder Gods, I'm excited for. It's basically Indiana Jones meets Cthulhu adventure game. Outbound, I played the demo. I liked it. Mixtapes, my favorite game of the year so far. Wildgate is delightful. It's not for me, but it's delightful. But I did play it with people and it was wonderful, but it requires a little bit too much coordination with the team. So this is an article on Games Radar saying, hey man, these are 14 games we're desperate to see at Summer Games Fest. I don't think we're going to see a lot of these, but let's read the list anyway. Do I have a college degree? I do not. I went to college. I have all my classes for my degree done except 2 credits. And the reason I didn't have it is I was in Mrs. White's American literature class from 1800s to 1900, and I hated her, so I dropped it. And then they said, we'll give you another teacher. And then they put me back into her class again. And I'm like, I just dropped the class. They're like, oh, she was the only one left. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll go work at Sony. Darwin's Paradox did come out. I really enjoyed the demo. I should probably play it. K-Nub says, Jaffe won't read this unless I pay, but I just got an email from Retro Games about your surprise box being shipped. That's excellent. I'll read almost anything you put up here if you pay me for it. But no, Retro Games Treasure, man, I'm so excited to see thank you for the little mugs hitting each other for the cheers, T-Bree. I appreciate that. Little claymation animation of the little clink. Thank you, buddy. But anyway, as it relates, yes, please send me what you got in your box. I would love to see it. Why do you look down on LCU viewers that are the same as you? What does that mean? I don't understand. K-Nubs. No, Nerf Ninja. Thank you for the super chat. He says, K-Nubs, if all that's true, you got to make a change. But it's not true. People do like him. I doubt it is true. He says, we're our own harshest critics. You get what you look for. Turn from darkness. I wouldn't address it in such flowery ways, but yeah. And the funny thing is, we like K-Nubs. We've always liked K-Nubs. I don't know what he's talking about. David Seeger, thank you for the super chat, buddy. PSN is so crappy. That's why it will never be my primary way to play. I don't have a problem with it, but after hearing Collins' rigmarole, I will have a big problem. I mean, I've canceled. I don't have PS Pro anymore, whatever it's called. I barely turn on my machine. But I will with a couple games coming out, like I said. But if they don't make a big deal about fixing it and letting people know, then yeah, I would agree with you. I think I don't know if it's going to hit their bottom line, but I would tell you, I would absolutely tell you that it should if it doesn't. Why did you say and you vote on Crypt? Because Vidya Brain, there are idiots over in the LCU, but they're idiots here. They're idiots all over the place. People who tend to watch our show Crypt tend to be smart people, because if they're not smart, or maybe the better word is curious about things and open-minded about things and willing to jump into a conversation about things. If they're not, and they're just there for mustard up the butthole, like a lot of the other shows, they wash out very, very quickly. And so that's what I mean. The very nature of our show acts as a filter to screen out the people that are pretty stupid. So that's what I would say to your question, my dear friend. Crypt audience has never corrected you on quantum mechanics. Well, I'm not a quantum physicist, sir. I never assume anything about it other than here's what I heard. Half of it's pop culture science, which has some truth. Either it's an article or a video that I watched. And correct me if I'm wrong. And when it comes to particle physics and string theory and quantum immortality, I'm probably wrong a lot. Okay, let's keep going. Here's what they want to see. We're not going to see this because I think it's having some production problems, but I'm very excited for this Assassin's Creed codename Hex. I am also very excited for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake. It looks great. But this I'm very excited for because I love the Salem witch trial idea. I love I just love the setting, the location, the sense of horror that comes from it, and how what are they going to do with basically this kind of story. So I'm very excited for this, but I do not think we'll see this at Summer Games Fest. Divinity, which is Larian, we might see a trailer, but probably not. This is still very, very early. Haunting, who is this? Haunting who? Haunting Human Studio. Yeah. Your name went off the screen. Hello there. Happy night, Jaffe and everyone. Right back to you, pal. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. Blinks is a national treasure. You goddamn right, Seeger. You goddamn right. Haunted Chocolatier, which is from Concerned Ape, the Stardew Valley people, that we're not going to see. Intergalactic. Now, this one's an interesting one, my dear, delightful debutantes. Intergalactic. The Game Awards is a bigger show than this show. But I don't know, because there's a rumor that Sony's going to have a state of play in June. And the rumor has been that they're going to show Corey's game. I don't know if they're also going to show Corey's game and this, or maybe they'll save this for Summer Games Fest. So I would put this one at like 50-50 is what I would say. I would say this is a 50-50 chance of being there. Marvel's Blade, I doubt it. Mass Effect 5, no. Cyberpunk, come on, no. Far Cry 7, no. The Witcher 4, quite possibly. The Elder Scrolls 6, come on, get the fuck out of here. Grand Theft Auto 6, no. Rockstar owns they don't do that. They own their fucking marketing. They're not going to, they know if they just say the word trailer, people are going to lose their fucking shit. So no, they don't believe, they're the only game on this list that doesn't need any help from Jeff Keighley. Certainly couldn't hurt, but it sells itself at this point. Persona 6, no. Wolf Among Us 2, no. Witchbrook, I don't even know what that is, so I can't speak to that. So there you go. That's what they're hoping will be there. I just hope it's a fun show, and Jeff comes out and we can make fun of his shoes. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Hang on a second. All right, here's what I want to show you guys real quick. Hang on. It's weird. I was outside today, like right before the stream, and I saw this guy. Yeah, Killer Bean. I would love to see Killer Bean. So I saw this guy who was walking up the driveway, very, very slow. Really, he has like a little shuffle. I could smell him from the driveway. Very stinky guy. but he is a friend and he's here with us today. He travels the highways and byways of the internet, superhighway, bringing us tiny little news articles from the internet that are probably too small to be full on topics, but he wants to share them anyway because he absolutely adores you. And here he is. He's your best friend. He's my best friend. He will be the godfather of your child. He is, of course, the internet hobo.
Driving down the road where you headed, you just don't know. But in the distance, you see insistence. His eyes are all aglow. You will stop, you will look, and why you just don't know. But my friend, you've just encountered the internet hobo.
There he is, boys. There he is. All right. What do you got for us today, buddy? By the way, David Seeger, thank you for 20 months of being a member. We appreciate it. He says, I just realized I was 45 minutes behind watching the stream and not live. Hope your evenings are going better than mine. Yeah, but thank you for that, buddy. You can hardly hear the song. Oh, well, you know what? You know how it goes. It's the internet hobo. It's goddamn internet hobo. Here he comes. Let's see what he's brought us in his bag of weird, smelly shit today. What do we got? Look at this motherfucker. This guy in China. He made a rideable sword. It's true. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to get you guys some better volume real quick. Hang on. Let me do this. Yeah, tech close enough. That's right. Okay, let's see. Let's go to screen. Let's go to, I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. Let's try this. I hope it's loud enough, but it may not be, but hopefully it is. All right. Here we go. All right. Look at this. Look at this crazy son of a bitch. Chinese vlogger spent years recreating an iconic wuxia scene with modern tech. His latest project, a rideable flying sword. I don't think it's AI. I think it's real. Is it a white stain on my shirt? No, it's peanut butter. Which I guess is what color is peanut butter? Tan. 4-time Guinness World holder with 10 million followers. No, it's a real deal, boys. It's a real deal. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. Thanks, Hobo. Thanks, Hobo, for bringing us that to our attention, Hobo. What's this? Oh, look at this. This may be enough to get me out into the arcades. It hasn't been announced for America yet, but it is coming to Japan. It'll probably be at your Dave & Buster's by the time you read this or watch this. Here we go. That's cool, man. I'm in. I think that's really, really cool. Maybe time for a Dave and Buster's trip for sure. Yeah, we need this here, says Robot. You goddamn right. No audio. I'll have to figure it out. I can't just imagine it was awesome audio because it was. Sorry. Look at this. The only paintball arena in Poland where the game takes place in mini tanks. This is the kind of activation I wish Sony would do for Twisted Metal, the TV series at Comic-Con. Would just let you wait in line and you get in the little, 4 or 5 cars with paintball guns and you shoot people in the parking lot, I would like that. But alas, that's not that. That's this. This is happening right now in Poland. So, that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty goddamn cool, don't you think? Enjoy it. Love it. Do it. All right, there you go. That's that. Thanks, Hobo. What else you got for us, buddy? Oh yeah. Twist Metal Black was not meant to be hard. It was just the fact that we didn't have the experience tuning games, and we didn't have a playtest lab at Sony Santa Monica at the time. And so we pretty much tuned it ourselves, and we thought, oh, well, this is easy. And it's a real problem. Because once you know a game and it's integrated into your muscle memory, you're not capable anymore of tuning the game. You really have to abdicate that to play test, not focus test, but play test. And it was a mistake. Okay. Well, you can't say Black Online is a well-balanced game. It's a multiplayer game. It's hard or not hard based on the people you're playing against. That's different than what we're talking about, which is the AI tuning. Okay, here we go. This is, you know what this is. It's goddamn Bram Stoker's Dracula by way of, Sesame Street.
Welcome to my home. Enter freely of your own will, and leave some of the happiness you bring. Take care how you cut yourself. It is more dangerous than you
Yeah, forgetting Sarah Marshall. You goddamn right. I'm finding it hard to believe it's going to get easier.
see me. See me now.
There you go. Is it AI slop? Yeah, but it's fun. Jaffe, thoughts on San Diego having to fire up their desalination plans? I don't know anything about that, actually. I don't know anything about that. Jaffe says, Father Alex, gamings require a deep engagement nowadays. Do you consider yourself as just cruising different titles? Or are you fully engaged? Depends on the game. I do find myself more fully engaged with systems-based games these days. Games like Batman Lego, the reason I didn't buy it is I'm like, I know what this is. I don't think I'll be compelled to finish it. I couldn't even be compelled to finish Puppet Combo. Not Puppet Combo. Why do I call it that? Because I was looking at puppets. Crimson Desert. But I have been playing the shit out of what's it called? Librarian, Tidy Up the Arcane Library, or Retro Rewind, or Winrose. So I think it just depends on the game we're talking about, really. Okay, what else you got, Hobo? Come on. You're doing all right, but we need more. All right, it's not a problem. I'll share that later. Oh, I'll show. Nah. What's this? Look at this. Look at this goddamn thing. It's kind of impressive. Look at this. Guy made this out of Legos, boys. I read the super chats when they come in, when I come to a stopping point, Kingdom. It's a paper airplane creator. I don't think this one, I think they needed to raise the ramp a little higher, but that's pretty fucking cool, man. That you can just feed in a goddamn piece of paper and it'll make you a goddamn paper airplane. That ain't nothing. Like, as a kid, I would make a product out of this. Forget that it's Lego or not. If it was like, hey, I'm 9 years old and I can get a paper airplane maker. I know that's like, well, isn't part of the fun that you make it yourself? Yeah, maybe. But and depending on the way you configure it, it can make lots of different types of planes. So you have your book that comes with it with like 25 planes that are genuinely good paper planes. And then as a kid, or anybody, you can start going, I wonder what happens if I put this and this and this here. And then suddenly you get this crazy fucking plane. And, I think it would be a hit product. I don't know what it would cost to actually manufacture and sell. But you could 3D print a product now, do it. I wouldn't know how to make it though. Jaffe doesn't care his kids won't have water in 10 years. Yeah, that may be true. That's exactly right. All right, fellas, that's all the hobo brought us for today. So we'll do a little free chat. I'm going to go turn on the air conditioning. It's hot, and then I'll free chat for a little bit, and we'll wrap it up. I'll be right back. Get your thoughts together, boys and ladies. I'll be right back. I don't know about that, Darth Nugget. Okay. Jaffe has no maids to turn his hair for him. No, I don't. Maybe one day if I'm real fortunate and lucky. But anyway. Okay. Anything you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. I will be back tomorrow. What was my favorite mini game and mixtape? I mean, I didn't really look at it that way. It was more of an overall experience. I liked the toilet papering the principal's house. I thought that was fun. The shopping cart was fun. The shopping cart chase with the police was fun. That's sort of my AC doesn't have a thermostat on it. Why would it not have a thermostat on it? Would it? I don't have it set though to auto. I just usually have it off because it's San Diego. It's usually fine, but right now it's hot in here. How can I stream in jeans? I love jeans. Jeans are my favorite thing to wear. Jeans and a t-shirt. Nerf Ninja. Thank you for the super chat. Gemini Omni is out today. You make anything yet? I haven't yet. I know that Google had a what do they call it? Google I/O, and they kind of trot out all their new shit. I was gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it later tonight. I saw Google Gemini Omni, but it's kind of one of those things that I'm like, I don't really, I see a lot of these demos at shows like this, and then I end up going, when I try to replicate something like it, I don't quite fully fundamentally understand it. And so I get the sense with Omni, I'm not quite sure how to use it yet, but it seemed very impressive from what I saw. Jaffe says, Tarapar. I love the way you think, your confidence, and how you never back down. You're the best. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Very kind words. I will tell you, I do back down. I change my mind. I say I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong at all. It's just that, I usually don't plant a flag in the ground and stand by it if I don't think I'm already right. But there have been times I've been convinced and I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong about that. But I do appreciate that. Big mistake. If you want to call in to the Discord, here's what I would say, big mistake. DM me on the Discord and tell me the name that you're going to call in under and do it as a fake name. Right. So let's just don't do this, but let's say your name is Diet Coke Lady. And then when I see it pop up, I'll know it's you. But the reason I can't do it right on this directly is because I have to deal with some of the trolls, which is not a big deal, but I don't have time tonight to go back and edit out their cock images. So Jaffe, where can we send a key for our game? I didn't have a chance to come here before. Oh, I want one. You goddamn right. And I would like to play it on stream. This is the UFO game, right? What is it called? They Were Here. Is that the one you're making? I think it is, right? Send it to me on Discord or send it to me on Twitter. Just send me a DM. I would love that. Thank you. Are you guys done with it? Who am I? What do you mean? Oh, it's called Who Are You? Right? Not They Are Here. Right. It's a UFO game. Okay. Here's big mistake. Let's see what her name is going to be. All right. So then okay. So there should be a link at the top of the YouTube chat. I see your name now. If you want to call in, big mistake, and I'll put you right on the show. I was only going to do audio, Matt. I thought that would solve it. But it's not going to solve it because if I bring someone in, even if I turn the camera off, there probably is a way to solve it. I just got to figure out what it is, but I haven't figured it out yet. Basically. To follow up on the FF7 remake question, says Kingdom, would love to get your take on its combat system. It's one of the most unique action combat systems. I have only played the demo of it and I really, really liked it. But I keep telling myself I'm going to play the whole thing, the real thing. I'm just, I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to have the time. But what I played, I thought was really good. It played great. It looked great. Controlled great. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Big Mistake. Just come on in and I'll put you on the show. You need a better vetting process. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing it on Discord when I do it, at least until the Wings guys. I mean, I don't, it doesn't bother me. It's just that there are nights I'm going to have, like tonight, I don't have time. Tonight we're watching episodes of Your Friends and Neighbors season 2. And I just don't have time. Wow, there she is. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
It is going good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired from work and
Yeah.
a little high. So
Good
sorry.
for you, man. No, don't be sorry. I wish I was high right now. But the only thing I have are edibles, and that hits me and stays with me. If I had a vape, I'd be good to go. Nice. Listen to me now. If we do end up going to the fair, we're going to do it high, my friend.
I'm down.
You're goddamn right. We're going to get
so
on the
down.
we're going to do the dark rides and the house. Can you imagine the House of Mirrors being high as a goddamn kite?
Yeah, that's
Come on. It's going to be awesome. So what's up? What do you want to talk about?
I'm filling out my ballot
Me too.
and I already know who I'm voting for governor, to be honest.
Where's
But
my
I want to hear your takes.
Okay, hang on.
Your takes.
The audience is like, I didn't fucking tune in for this shit. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm not going to tap out after 2. Look, I was raised at Six Flags, bitch. Don't fucking come at me in the chat.
I'll report back.
Yeah. I'm looking for my fucking ballot. It's around here. Hang on. All right. Well, I can't find it, but let me look at the book. Oh, here it is. Okay. Never mind. I found it. Okay. Governor. I am voting for, I haven't filled it out yet, but I'm voting for 2 people. God damn it, Jeffy. Where is it? Hang on. Mistake. Un momento. I wanted to like Katie Porter because I liked her as a senator. And then she really fucked up the way she talked to her staff, and that pretty much put an end to it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So Michael Tubbs. No, that's Lieutenant Governor. Hang on. God damn it. Mistake. Hang on. Let me tell you. I have all this written down, but it's in different places because we were kind of doing it in a rush. Hang
You
on.
need a notebook.
I know. Okay, so here's what it is.
Wait, this is the big mistake? Yes, it is.
Most likely is Hilton and Becerra are the top 2 finishers. Less likely is Hilton and Steyer finishing 1 or 2. This is the latest polls.
I saw that.
I'm trying to remember because I just forget whose name goes with what. Fuck, man, I want to tell you. I don't know. Who are you voting for?
Tom Steyer. Class
Steyer.
trader.
Is he a class trader?
Yeah, he's a billionaire trying to.
Oh, wait. Is this the progressive billionaire? Okay. I think he's got my vote as well, even though I don't love him. But let me just make sure. I want to give you an honest answer on this. 1 second. California. Okay, let me just go to that. Yeah. Okay. Tom Steyer is who I'm voting for. That's right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because there are people that I would rather vote for, but when it comes to this particular primary, because
Who else would you rather vote for?
I have to. Once I make a decision on these, I forget the names. But let me tell you. In fact, I can tell you right now. I know where I put this. 1 second. I have a touch of the ADD. If you didn't know, so you know.
I am finding that out firsthand.
Yeah. See. Okay.
Did you see there's someone named Barack Obama running?
I did see that. That's awesome. Okay. I'm getting it. I promise. The other ones I have it at a finger's touch. It's right here. That's just for some reason the biggest one, governor. I don't know where I put it, and I've forgotten all these people's names. So,
How many ballots are each of you sending in? One.
Yeah. Okay. Tony Thurmond is the one I liked more, but he has no chance of really winning. And because we want to make sure that the Democrats don't split the vote, so we end up with 2 Republicans on the ballot, I'm going to go with Steyer. I'm voting very safe in this particular election because it's too important.
As am I.
Yeah. So that's Lieutenant Governor is Tubbs, probably Tubbs. People are like, what the fuck is this show? Tubbs. But I wanted a guy named Oliver Ma is who I wanted. Yeah, but
is he related to Fiona Ma?
He is not, and she's awful. I don't like her at all. Alexa, stop. So Tubbs is the guy I'm going to vote for because he's kind of he's the most progressive leftist guy who has a shot at winning. And yeah, but Oliver Ma is exactly, if you want to know my politics, look up his platform. He hasn't taken any money over like $100 from people. He doesn't take any money from corporations, from PACs, any of that. And he's been able to raise $500,000.
Damn.
But it's still, it's still not enough to.
Some real grassroots stuff going on.
Yeah. So but Tubbs would be my other guy. I'm voting yes on Measure A. If you don't know what Measure A is, let me pitch it to you guys out there. Measure A is a proposed law that may end up being unconstitutional, but I hope not. And it basically says that there are people who have multiple homes, and if they own a home in California and they don't live in it a certain amount of time, then the property tax on that home, or there will be a tax levied, either property tax or just a kind of a punitive tax of this, because what they're trying to do is get rid of these billionaires and millionaires that are buying up homes and hoarding them and renting them, not renting them, but using them as sort of financial investments only when most people can't actually buy their first home. So I'm voting yes on A. What are you voting on A? Big mistake.
Yeah.
What are you voting on A?
I don't have that on my ballot.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh. Well. All right. Well, what else did you want to know? That is weird.
Right. I probably know your answer to this one. State senator.
Oh, state senator, right?
For your district.
Yeah. I'll tell you. You don't mean U.S. representative, right? You mean state senator. State
Yeah, or I'll
senator.
take both.
Okay, so for representative, it is. Where did I write? Oh, I know where. Hang on. A lot of motherfuckers running for the goddamn governor, man. I'll tell you what. All right. Secretary of State is Shirley Weber. Controller is Cohen. Attorney General is Rob Bonta. Insurance Commissioner Jane Kim. Why can't I find what you're asking me about, though?
You said Cohen for controller.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everyone knows, I'm writing these down. I'm not filling them out.
Yes, you are. You have to vote the way I am.
Researching.
Okay, so U.S. Representative, my district. I'm not going to tell you my district. I'll tell you offline, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't want people to know my
Sure.
district. State senator, though. I will tell you. One moment.
I don't go to protests. For those in the comments, I do enough philanthropy in my working job. I don't feel the need to go to protests.
I think Black Spear
Okay.
is who I'm voting for. I'm pretty predictable. Hello, Courage. When it comes to this particular election, I mean, yeah, my face is washed out because the light. I don't have any lighting in here. Shut the fuck up. But yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you? Were you just curious, or do you have a pretty strong opinion?
I don't really have a strong opinion on this.
Okay.
Not that primaries don't matter, but you and I tend to have very similar politics.
Yeah.
So I do value your opinion.
Thank you.
So
I
I was
appreciate
more curious than anything else.
It's exactly what you would think. The only thing someone may have a question for me is, are you going to vote? Like, if I was going to vote just with my principles only, I would go with, like, for example, Ma.
Yeah.
Owen Ma. But because these are going to be, primaries and not final, we can't afford it given how, things are going with the Republicans and stuff. So,
Sure.
but yeah, no, I'm very interested to see what happens, and I don't imagine we'll end up with a Republican governor. The only I'm more terrified and excited and worried and hopeful that voting goes off without a hitch, given all of the shit that, I mean, if Trump loses control this time, I mean, he'll be impeached and
100%.
and he's terrified of that, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
I've been emphasizing the midterms since election day.
yes, they're really, really important. Really,
So
really
it's-
important. So, okay. All right. Well, what are you doing tonight? Mistake.
This hanging out with my dog, Tortilla,
Okay. Nice.
and watching a stream. Not really doing much of anything.
Got it.
Getting high.
Good for you. Oh man, I gotta get high. I was high Friday. I might just start doing a stream with Bunny if she's open to it every Friday. Just
Do
getting
it. It
high.
was fun to watch.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great. So I gotta get the pen. I got to order from my Holistics place the pen because the edibles, it's too much of a commitment. You know, pen, I'm in, I'm out. After 30 minutes, it wears off, you know.
Message me what dispensary you go to.
Torrey Hills Holistics.
Oh, okay. I see billboards for them all the time.
Yeah, they're wonderful. Really, it's real mom and poppy. It's really fun too if you go in person because it's just a very cute little. It's almost like a little cozy game store, but they happen to sell pot, which is kind of fun. You know,
Cute.
so yeah. All right. Well, thanks, buddy. Thanks for calling. I'm hoping I'll see you in a couple weeks because what is it? June is when it starts.
Yeah, I told Tech my availability. I'm going
All right.
to Prague at the end of June. So
Okay, we'll figure something out, or at least we'll try to. But I'll see you on the next show. Okay. Thank you so much for all the support and hanging out.
Cool.
I appreciate
Thanks.
it. See you,
Bye.
buddy. Have a good night. All right, there you go. That was Big Mistake. Okay. That's the show. You know what I'm saying? That is the show. Thank you guys for all the conversation. Well, I'll share my dispensary because there's multiple ones. You don't know which one. Look, just shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for spending some time with me talking video games and politics. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the super chats and the memberships. I very much appreciate it, you guys. She is nice. She's a very nice lady. I like her. When will we see Gene Park again? Gene actually reached out to me a couple of days ago with an idea he had of us either doing a stream or a video. So hopefully soon. I know he's kind of backing off of that right now while he's you know, the internet's not a healthy place. Twitter's not a healthy place. The man can't even give his opinion. I mean, Gene is a great journalist, a great writer. He's one of the very few educated journalists that has history, not just as a games guy, but as he was a fucking crime reporter, for God's sakes. And the lack of respect, not that you owe him respect, of course, you know, that's fine. But I don't blame the guy for going, I got to get the fuck off Twitter. I got to get the fuck off a lot of this stuff because the man writes he didn't even give Mixtape a 10 out of 10. He gave it like a 3 out of 4 stars or something. He liked some part of it and he didn't like other parts of it. But even then, you know, and he's like, what am I doing? So that's what I would say. Okay. K-Nubs, maybe that's why you think nobody likes you. That's such a poor taste joke to make, dude. You know, all right. That's it. That's all I got. I got no more. Be well, be safe. Thank you guys, seriously, joking aside, for all of the support. I really do appreciate it. I am back tomorrow at 7:00 in the morning with Tech and Wings of Redemption on Lolcow Crypt. And then I think I'm going to be doing a game stream tomorrow, maybe with the Retro Game Treasure box. Go on over there, Jaffe 10. It'll get you 10% off your first box. It's a really neat thing if you're into the retro games. So I hope you'll give them a shot. Take a look. Meantime, though, be well, be safe, and I'll see you soon. Let me just make sure that's not something I need to get real quick. Don't let the haters win. I don't care. Don't end on what sadness? I'm not sad. Okay, that's all I got. Bye, you guys.